Joining me now to discuss this and much more, including some lefty lunacy from an inner city council, is the always astute Bella Debrera from the Institute of Public Affairs. Bella, Whoopi Goldberg, whose real name is Karen Johnson, I only found that out today. She's appropriated a Jewish name, but she's clearly fairly ignorant about the history of the religion and the Holocaust.
Yes, look, Rita, I only found that out today as well, just having a look at what Whoopi Goldberg's real name was. She's had a long time to study the Holocaust, because I think she changed her name a long time ago when she first came to Hollywood. But I'm astounded that she would actually go on television and make a statement that is so historically inaccurate. And that little clip that you just played there, she talked about ethnicity and race being two very different things. They're exactly the same thing. Hitler treated the Jews as a race, not as a religion. The Nuremberg laws were designed as something around ethnicity, not about religion. I mean, this is historical fact. Every school child knows this. Even in Australia, where school children aren't taught much, but they know this. So it's incredible that she came out and said this. And as you say, it's not an apology, but that's because she is a proponent of what you just mentioned, which is the critical race theory, which really purports that only white people can be racist, and that there's no one else can do any oppressing. So she's basically saying, in a way, that Hitler wasn't racist, which is astounding.
It is, and it's just she's incapable of accepting that white people can be oppressed, they can be brutalised, that they have throughout history have also been victims of racism. It's this belief system that will not allow the acceptance of those facts. And we're seeing more and more of this divisive twist on what racism really is. Earlier this week, I spoke about how the Anti-Defamation League has changed its definition of racism, and it kind of fits with Whoopi's worldview. They now say racism is the marginalisation and or oppression of people of colour based on a socially constructed racial hierarchy that privileges white people. So if you believe that's what racism is, you can kind of understand Whoopi's warped worldview.
Oh, absolutely. Look, she's doing exactly what they say that she should be saying. So they've taken on this idea that the defining structure of Western civilization is race, and that everything is racist, that there is nothing that isn't racist. So if everything's racist, nothing's racist. So they're completely rendering what real racism is, which they're rendering that meaningless. On the one hand, she's doing what they say. So they really shouldn't be criticizing her, because she's following their ideology. It's really worrying, and I've talked a lot about critical race theory on Sky in the last year, how it's creeping into our schools. It's in the proposed national curriculum, and it's something that is so damaging for society. And it's, as you said, how can anyone actually, with a straight face, say that only white people are racist when you look at history? It's a really damaging and dangerous ideology that has no place in Australian society.
And it's abandoning some victims of racism right now. You look at what's happening in parts of Asia, in the subcontinent. You look at what's happening with the caste system in India. It's basically disregarding all that and just obsessing about this Western idea of racism being purely white people against people of colour. Now, before I let you go, it's been revealed the city of Stonington in Melbourne held an $8,000 Indigenous healing ceremony on Australia Day. This was the only public function it held on the day. What a divisive use of taxpayers' money, Bella. And as a ratepayer of that council, I can tell you I'm not happy.
Oh, of course they did. Of course they're going to hold a healing ceremony. And of course they didn't ask anyone either. They didn't put it to public vote. They just held this thing in the morning. This is the same council that declared a climate emergency last year. So you can kind of tell where they sit on the political scale. But the point is, and as you say, you're a ratepayer there. Is this really where you want your money spent? No. Councils should not be meddling in politics. This is not their business. They need to. It's the old rates, roads, and rubbish thing that we say over and over again. But really, Who do they think they are declaring a climate emergency? I mean, this is not what the purpose is. So look, I'm not surprised that they had this healing ceremony, and it's just, you know, who are they healing as well? And there's many unanswered questions about this, but it's clearly a waste of money. And of course, this is after 2 years of total decimation of businesses in Victoria. That $8,000 could be better spent elsewhere on people that have had to close their doors because of government restrictions.
And plenty of those in that particular council. There's plenty of businesses there that are doing it tough. Bella de Brera, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thanks, Rita.